And with the introductions complete, it's time to welcome you to our debut broadcast of the Women's MBL. I'm Mike Peden, he's Alex Nagel, and we'll get that tunnel deflated so we can see, and more importantly, the officials can operate. But we have Queens of the Court, Minnesota's MBL program against Model City, coming all the way from Anniston, Alabama.
Anniston, okay.
Anniston, about an hour from Birmingham and an hour and a half from Atlanta. So very much in the Deep South. Alex, you know a thing or two about this Queens of the Court team because we have a lot of MIAC and UMAC graduates on the roster. Anyone you're looking forward to seeing out there?
You know, I see Zailing Zen out there, and she had a solid career at St. Olaf. She can score, she can penetrate, she can play defense. And I'm really anxious to see what she does here tonight.
And, of course, Ty Holt, who's still the all-time leading rebounder at St. Catherine and was the all-time leading scorer until her record was broken by Audra Clark, if I remember, who's now the coach at St. Catherine.
I know. She's such an exciting player. I mean, she has so many great moves. I mean, she's a difficult matchup for really any opponent. And it's going to be interesting to see how they counter her ability here tonight.
The starters for the two sides, Model City, Kiki Turner, Patricia Picken, Diamond Buchanan, T.D. Ashley, and India Brown. Queens of the Court will start Zailing Zen, Jada Francois Luden, Abby Ho, Brooke LaFleur, and Tyzacia Holt. Brooke and Tyzacia also on the coaching staff at Harding High School. They coach together.
I didn't know that.
Well, I knew that because I covered a Harding game this past year, and Ty and Brooke gave me the lowdown. They think Harding will be a team on the rise as we get underway. We'll play with WMBA rules, so we'll have 4 10-minute quarters. And the shot clock did not start. We've had this issue before at the Salvation Army Gym. Have you done any games here, Alex? Because Christ Household of Faith.
I have not.
You have never done a game here.
You've pretty much taken me to every nook and cranny here on the St. Paul side of town, but this, I have to admit, is one venue I have not been to. So I guess there's a first time for everything.
So I'm taking you on another adventure, is what you're telling me. Shot clock is working now. There's Ty Holt with the old board, dishes it out to Abby Ho. Baseline J short, rebound, India Brown. I would not expect Alabama to be a hotbed for women's basketball necessarily, but you got to start somewhere. There's T.D. Ashley. Traveling call. And Alex, I go back to, if you remember, you and I did the old WBCBL Women's Blue Chip Basketball League. And the team there, at least one of the biggest followings, was the St. Louis Surge.
Yep.
St. Louis, again, maybe not a program you would expect, but how do you build women's basketball? You got to start somewhere. Ty Holt's three is blocked. Here comes Model City, still waiting for our first goal, and Model City coughs it up. Brooke LaFleur started her college career at McAllister and then got to play at Tulane, so she went from D3 to D1. That's not a transition you see often unless you're St. Thomas.
No, but the most notable one just happened here not too long ago. I had a player from Knox College transfer to my alma mater, Iowa.
And who is that?
What's that?
Which player would that be?
I will get that. I don't remember the name, her name off the top of my head, but I will check that out.
Well, you've got 30 seconds to look it up. But I do have another example that I can add from a local standpoint. If you remember Olivia Antilla.
Oh, yeah.
Went to Benilde St. Margaret's, then Osseo, started at D2, then played at Anoka Ramsey for a year, finished her college career at Florida A&M. So it's not unprecedented. It's rare for an athlete to finish at a D1 school. I've seen players start at D1 and go down, but Brooke LaFleur, all 5 feet inches, I think, making it work. And she and I do have one thing in common.
Yep.
And no, we did not go to the same college. I'm not a Tulane graduate, but Brooke and I are former contributors to the Girlhood exhibit. If you remember the Minnesota History Center Girlhood exhibit.
Sure.
Brooke had several artifacts of hers on display, including her MMIW jersey that she'll bring to events like the Gus Macker basketball 3-on-3 tournament. I didn't have any physical artifacts, but if you went to that exhibit, you would have seen several video clips from my, at the time, 18 years of high school hoops coverage. It's now 20. As we return to action, still no score in the first quarter. Again, we play WMBA rules. Entry pass, triple team. Brooke LaFleur, all 5 feet inches, comes up with it. We'll have a jump. Well, I don't know if I would put my money on Brooke LaFleur to win this jump, but how about her scrappiness, Alex?
Well, that's what you got to have. I mean, those kinds of plays, don't always show up on the stat sheet, but it's those small things that definitely play a big part in helping win ball games.
And the MMIW jersey, if you don't know what that means, it stands for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women. Brooke, one of the many Native Americans who have embraced the sport of basketball. Model City wins the tip. Probably not a surprise. Ty Holt gets the rebound. Looking to go outlet, has her target, and Queens of the Court scores first. Holt to Francois Luden. Contact, we play on. Model City trying to adapt to this physical style of play. Here comes T.D. Ashley, the drive, foul, she'll shoot 2.
Good job there by Diamond Buchanan of Model City, maintaining control of the ball after she hit the floor, got the pass away, and kept the play alive.
And I'm going to have to figure out who number 33 is because she was not listed on the roster. Don't worry, Alex. I've had to do this many times with the MBL, the men's league, and even AAU.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then you would do a Y League, if I recall, that features a lot of the...
Well, I'll be covering the Midtown YWCA Women's College Summer League that will be starting up here very soon.
So we have a technical foul. It is a
do.
bench technical. Well, remember, number 33 was not in the book.
Oh, okay, yep.
So
yep,
that
yep,
is a bench technical.
That's, yeah.
So we'll have the technical free throw and then the common foul free throws. Something to remember if this game is decided by a single point or not, because the free throw comes up empty, so no harm, no foul. But again, just a bench technical. No one assessed the technical foul.
Model City still looking for their first points of this contest.
Well, it's still early. 7:50 left in the first. I did notice in the intros, Brooke and Ty had the biggest fan section. I suppose having a high school coaching connection to Harding helps get the word out. Here are the common free throws. And a slow start for Model City. Again, both teams 1-1. There are 10 teams in the women's MBL in its first year. Hopefully we'll add more. Offensive rebound for Model City. Ty Holt swoops in for the steal. Queens of the Court with numbers. Ty Holt, elbow J. That's short. Model City still on a goose egg, and they cough it up. The lob a little too high.
That steal here on this end by Ty Holt here just a bit ago, just reminiscent of the great things that she did while at St. Kate's, was so disruptive on the defensive end.
It reminds me of what she could do at Humboldt, too. She was an all-around threat by her senior year with the Hawks. Elbow J. Swish. Ty Holt with a couple of assists. And Queens of the Court leads 4-0. I don't know if the shot clock reset, but Model City, they're not going to wait.
Did it with a little cast on her right hand and all.
Kiki Turner gets Model City on the board. 3 on the way, short. The carom bounces off the shin of a Model City player. Now they have numbers 2-on-1 and the fast break layup for TD Ashley. And just like that, we're even at 4. There's Zen, the St. Olaf graduate. 3 on the way. That's Ty Holt in and out. Zen gets fouled.
One thing I've always liked about Zayling Zen during her days at St. Olaf, very smart player, very crafty, plays very smart, doesn't make mistakes, knows how to get her teammates involved, and that's what you want from a point guard.
Now, remind me, Alex, since you are the MIAC expert, St. Olaf, their nickname is the Ols?
The Olies.
Olies, yes. And you may know this. St. Olaf was the basis of the fictional hometown for Rose, if you remember the Golden Girls. She grew up in St. Olaf, Minnesota. There is no St. Olaf, but
right.
They sneakily used the college. I'm sure Zeeling has no knowledge about that, but I do. And this is why I'm real fun at parties. But that's what I enjoy about the semi-pro leagues. Again, you and I covered the Black Ice, and they had some D1 and D2 members in their ranks. No free throws for Zen. But I never got a chance to see Zeeling play. There's Holt with a steal, leaping up. She's got numbers. Is she going to take it all the way? Yes! And the foul.
I think she just ages like fine wine, if you ask me.
Are you sure she has aged at all?
Maybe not.
It feels like I'm watching her at Humboldt or St. Catherine all over again. I did go to a few games when she was a member of the Wildcats. And of course, the Butler Center, a place I know well, they host the Martin Luther King Girls Basketball Invitational every year. Ty credits basketball for pointing her life in a positive direction. You may know this story, Alex. She didn't get started until 9th grade and tried to...
That almost seems hard to believe.
Tried to sneak out of a practice once. Her mom eventually found out and said, "You started the season, you got to finish it." Needless to say, Ty is far from finished. We're going to have a blocking foul on Zen.
I think her mom was onto something. What do you think?
I'm glad her mom got on her proverbial rear end, if you know what I mean. Oh, Ty can't get enough basketball now. And she's got a daughter in Lala Ray. Lala playing her 7th grade year at Harding and has a lot of upside. And I've teased Ty about the fact that the kids she's coaching are starting earlier than she did. But you know what? It's fun to see Ty and Brooke and everyone hang around St. Paul. Model City trailing 7-4 after the three-point play from Holt. Shot clock winding down. Model City doesn't recognize it.
Well, good half-court defense by the Queens of the Court team.
And if this defensive intensity keeps up, Alex, all it takes is one run and Queens of the Court, I should say, could take off running. Here's LaFleur.
What happened? Another technical foul?
A foul on K.K. Harris, but apparently there was some confusion. It doesn't seem to be. She's talking with Piper and Brooke, and it doesn't look like it had anything to do with any jawing, any jawboning. So the technical is converted by Peden. And that's Gary Lowe. He is the leader of the officiating crew. He's one of the coordinators in the MIAC, as I understand it, too.
Yep.
So he's been around this game for quite a bit. I'm sure he'll explain what that technical was for, but it didn't seem like there was any
No, I didn't notice any
stirring conversations.
Unusual.
We have an offensive foul. Moving screen, that's what I thought. I'm sure Gary will watch the tape and he'll tell me what that technical was about because, again, it wasn't apparent. It wasn't like someone coming at you and starting something. And this is where, if Azaria Jackson were here, she could probably tell me. She's down in Atlanta. That is an offensive foul, drawing the charge. It's LaFleur. And all the Harding kids, I see Smiley Gomez, Nessa Golan's out there. They're cheering on their coaches. This has got to be fun for the Harding student athletes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now they get to have fun with their coaches. Here's LaFleur. She and Holt were teammates last year at the Gus Macker 3-on-3 a couple years ago, I should say. No, it was last year. Holt fakes the three. Looking for space. Shot clock winding down. LaFleur back to Holt. She's got to go. They're going to run out of time.
Yeah, now it's the Queens of the Court's turn to get caught in a shot clock violation.
24 seconds comes at you pretty fast. And I don't think any of these women have ever played with a 24-second clock.
There can be a little bit of an adjustment phase that goes with the slightly shorter shot clock. And I think we saw it right there.
Entry fee gets away from Model City. Another turnover. To your point, Alex, I've covered a lot of MBL games with the Bulldogs and Broncos. And even those players, the 24-second clock doesn't really come into play in terms of lack of awareness. Here's Holt, the handoff, and the layup. Francois Luden. Alex, I think Holt now has 3 assists. And she has that three-point play, so Ty responsible for all 9 points in one way or another. Approaching 4 minutes to go in the first. And Harris fouling Patricia Peden. Patricia will shoot 2. Harris, you might remember her as KK Reed. She played high school ball at Minneapolis Edison.
Okay.
Her teammate around that time was Julianne Mitchell.
Yep.
I talked with KK before the game, and she said she's blessed that she still gets a chance to play. She's the oldest member of the team. Peden hit a technical free throw earlier. And it looks like Harris might have bloodied herself up. Split at the line, but an O board for Model City. Shot clock goes to 14. Knocking down.
That's a tough shot in traffic.
Rainbow, yes, is Ashley. So a three-point play in reverse. Runner not there. Abby Ho with the rebound. Had it snatched away, but Model City steps out of bounds. 11 on the shot clock for Queens of the Court. Ho for three. Bullseye.
Oh, I tell you what, I like the catch there by Zailing Zen there on the baseline. She really had to stretch to retrieve that ball, but got and kept the play alive. And they got a three out of that.
Looks like Harris bloodied up her nose. She's heading to the locker room. Holt with the rebound. That's what she was known for. Outlet. Not quite on point. Queens of the Court turns it over. Abe is still reveling in that three by Ho a moment ago. This is part of a weekend series. We're just doing the Saturday night game, and then another game is scheduled at the end of July, another home game that is. We hope we'll be there with you. Zen steals it. I don't think Model City was fully in sync. Ooh, that's a tough pass. Alex Zen tried to thread that into a real precarious spot.
Well, great defensive play here on the other end by Zailing Zen, being in the right place at the right time to get that steal. Had to really thread the needle on that pass, but tell you what, when she's on the floor, you got to know where she's at.
Model City takes a timeout with 2:40 left in the first, and that will give me a chance to find out who number 33 is. So, Alex, why don't you enlighten us with your pontifications and observations while I do that?
Yes. Well, I mean, right now, Mike, what I'm seeing is that Queens of the Court have done a pretty good job in going up against the size advantage that Model City has. And they've been able to get into enough transition opportunities that really, I think, leverages their speed advantage. And I think if they can keep doing that, they'll be in good shape. And right now they're holding a 12-8 lead. Now, I think what they have to be careful of is that they can't get too sloppy with turnovers and mistakes, because that size advantage, as I pointed out with Model City, if they get their half-court game going, it's going to be a very tough adjustment for the Queens of the Court if they're able to do that.
All right, I have a report straight from the woman herself. 33 is CeCe Bell. I do not rest to provide up-to-the-minute information.
Tony Gurr would be proud of you.
Oh, I'm sure Tony would have quite a bit to say about.
He would love a setting like this. I know he would.
I was thinking of him recently because I noticed this. I'll share the story in a moment. Right now, we've got a double team. Model City breaks it. Three. I think Ho got a piece of it. Zen gets the rebound. And there's another player. I don't think she was listed either. I'm going to have to go back there at the end of the quarter. Here's Zen for three. It's off the heel. Well, Alex, if number 10 isn't in the book, we may have another technical free throw coming. On the other end, the Plinko bounce goes in for Diamond Buchanan. CeCe Bell, by the way, went to Anoka Ramsey for a time and played at what is now Two Rivers.
Yep.
Aaron throw. Kiki Turner off to the races. Extra pass and the fast break lob.
That's one of the things I was talking about. I said the one thing I worried about for the Queens of Court is I do think that they have advantage with the speed and quickness, but we've seen some sloppy plays at times and some turnovers, and Model City's been able to capitalize on those.
And go figure, just as you say that, Jada Francois Luden knocks down the three. T.D. Ashley scored on the other end for Model City. It's 15-12. Whoa, look at that drive. But coming up short was Turner. Oh, board and a foul. Peden goes to the line.
One thing I've noticed here coming down the home stretch of this opening period, Mike, is that Model City, I think, has finally started to find a little bit of a groove here on offense. They're getting some layups, some open shots that they were not getting early on. So I think they're slowly starting to figure some things out in their half-court offense.
Peden knocks down the front end. You were talking about Tony earlier, Alex. What do you think he would say about me doing this for 20 years? I've known you for over 15.
I know. It's. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
you and I both learned so much from him.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: as Peden knocks down the free throws, he referred to me as Les Nessman, if you remember the show WKRP in Cincinnati. Here's an elbow J that doesn't go down for Francois Luden. I don't know which character you would be in that group, but I could see Les Nessman. Just don't ask me to do any reports about falling turkeys.
I hope not Les Nessman.
Well, I have Les Nessman. Maybe you'd be Johnny Fever.
Maybe. Maybe a watered down version of him. I don't know. But
like, as I said, just don't ask me to do any reports on turkey drops.
Right.
Last thing I want to see are a bunch of falling turkeys.
Well, we've got a 1-point game here, Mike, with 37.4 left in this opening period. Let's see if Queens of the Court can maybe get a bit more cushion here before this opening period's over.
Hold can't get the drive through. What really has impressed me, Alex, both teams are lightning fast. Model City can floor it, and Queens of the Court, we've seen them flex their speed. Shot clock at 13, game clock at 25. Ty Holt launches, can't connect.
Oh.
Francois Luden gets her own miss. Throws up the fadeaway, knocks it down.
She really had to improvise on that one.
2 points are 2 points. Full court press. But Model City gets a reprieve. They'll have plenty of time and numbers, and they cash in. That's the risk with a full court defense. And TD Ashley gets one more bucket before the quarter ends. 17-16. Alex, a tight battle to start this game.
Yeah, just when we thought maybe the Queens of the Court team might have a little bit of a shot to get maybe just a little bit more of a cushion, now they're only enjoying a 1-point game.
Well, you share some more observations. I got to go figure out who number 10 is now. So I got to do this again. Tony would be really proud.
Yes.
It's more than just BBQ, it's family time. Ella's Smoke Till Ya Choke. Perfect for your Saturday.
Mic'd Up Sports is TSP Television's talk show series. Available on all major podcast platforms, we offer sports figures, past and present, a place to convey stories and adventures on a deeper level than our traditional game coverage. Whether you're a superstar athlete or someone who works behind the scenes, we'd be honored to share your story. If you'd like to be a guest, contact us at The Mike Peden on all major social platforms.
By the way, Mike, just to expand on my comment about D3 transfers going up, which we know is a rarity, but the most notable one that happened here recently was Bria Medina from Knox College going to my alma mater, Iowa, here a short time, just a few weeks ago. And obviously, as big of a part as she played on that Knox team, being the leading scorer, even though she'll be, arguably spending most of her time on the bench, according to Jan Jensen, she's exactly the kind of player they were looking for to help, add some stability to their bench.
Well, while you enlightened us with that piece of basketball history, number 10 for Queens of the Court is Mink Nieves. I can't find her on Google, so I don't know where she played, at least not yet, but hopefully I won't have to dash to the scores table again, because...
We'll hold you to that.
Well, because... all right, I'm risking... It's a great risk to say this, considering the company surrounding me. But as you know, Alex, as you get older, your body does not cooperate as much as it used to.
Tell me, I had to pound my body on those hard courts for like 35 years before my body said no mas.
That's right. You were a tennis player. So we're ready for the second quarter. 17-16 the score. Francois Luden leading Queens of the Court with 9 points. TD Ashley with 8 for Model City. And a stop for Queens of the Court. They're wearing the light purple, Model City in the black. Ooh, Francois Luden had the look, just a little too rough on the bounce. First year of the women's MBL. 3-ball off the rim. And the rebound goes to Jazarea Davis-Nellen. Ty Holt, straightaway 3, short. Ty was looking forward to this ever since a women's team. Actually, I had a hand in bringing her on this team. She called several MBL games with me. Here's a deep 3. That goes off the rim. And the rebound to Piper Fleming, a recent Humboldt graduate. Played her college ball at North Central, and a couple years ago reached the semifinals of the NCC AAD2 tournament as Ty Holt completes the up and under move. She's got 5.
Let's see what Model City does here on this possession.
Well, they get a second chance bucket from Diamond Buchanan. Or as they put it, a me-bound. A me-bound, a la Angel Reese, who has a few of them. Maybe a few too many for my liking. 8 on the shot clock. Wide open 3. That looks long, and it will bounce out of bounds harmlessly. So to finish up on Ty Holt, so she called several Bulldogs and Broncos games with me.
Yeah.
And when Michael Wright announced that a women's team was coming together, Ty naturally was interested in playing, so I introduced her to Newton, and here we are. So everything that happens to Ty is officially my fault. I just want everyone to know that.
Yeah.
And then maybe Brooke, too, because Ty and Brooke are pretty close to the hip these days. Another second chance bucket, this time India Brown with the putback.
And that's where the size factor comes into play for Model City. If they can get more of those second and third opportunities, that's going to be very big for them.
Ty Holt looking for the 3-ball, doesn't get it. And Bell in a tough spot.
Got numbers.
Model City pushing. No second chance bucket this time. Ty Holt, sensing coverage coming, backs off. Cross court to Piper Fleming for 3. Off the heel. Ho collects the rebound. Oh! Didn't see Peden. As the ball pinballs around, finds its way to Turner. Skips it. Baseline J. Swish. TD Ashley with 10. Timeout, Queens of the Court. Model City leads 22-19.
Well, a little burst here by Model City has allowed them to put their nose out in front here a little bit.
6:49 left in the second quarter. Again, we play with WMBA rules, so the games are a little faster compared to the MBL games you've seen on our YouTube channel. Alex, You were saying the size advantage for Model City could come into play, and the more I watch, the more I see it, because Queens of the Court, they have some smaller size players who can play up, but
Right.
like you said, it really comes into focus near the rim.
Again, those second and third chance opportunities, if Model City can take advantage of those, that's going to be huge for them. I mean, you have to use that size at some point, and that's the best way to do it.
But what do you think? I know Ty and Piper Fleming know each other, but you have two Humboldt graduates from two completely different generations on the same team, and Piper playing at North Central, one of those UMAC schools that maybe flies under the radar in the D3 level, but
it's an interesting mix. I mean, I'll tell you.
Right.
I'll give you that.
well, and North Central, now that's a gym. If you haven't seen it.
Yes, I know. I've been there. Covered a few games there.
I've been there the last 3 years. That's where the NCCA Division II tournament was held. Crown College, the other host. Poke from behind, and the steal by Model City. This is Buchanan with the shovel pass, and the fast break layup for Jemiah Smith. Model City living up to their name. A model performance so far in the second quarter. Breaking free was Ho, but she can't get it down. Last touch by Model City. Zen and LaFleur will check back in. Here's LaFleur. Gets around her coverage, goes up. A little offline. Tie hold and one.
Guess who?
Ty was the catalyst, the orchestrator, the facilitator in the first quarter. Do you think those two have drawn up that play for any of the Harding games they've coached? But Ty, she plays a lot bigger than 5'8". I have to remind myself that she's only 5'8". 5'10" with the shoes. Three from the wing. Off the front iron. Hold. Got the rebound and had it knocked away. It will stay with Queens of the Court. Ty Holt with 8 points now. And that's a good sign. KK Harris back in there. Minneapolis Edison, her high school alma mater. They don't have as rich of a history compared to South or North, but they've had some players come through. Shanice Vaughn and Sierra Morrow. Holt had the lane open and takes a tumble. But that's not the worst spill she's ever had, and I know this because I covered several of her high school games.
I mean, you have to give a player like Ty Holt, enough room where she can ad lib. She knows what she's doing out there.
Well, here's what I was getting at with my reference. As a sophomore, Humboldt versus Highland Park, the full game broadcast is on YouTube. Ty Holt was diving for her loose ball, and in the process, knocked over the Gatorade cooler, spilled water all on the court, and delayed the game by about 5 minutes as the custodians had to mop it up.
That would have been quite the sight to see.
Oh, I saw it. Ty considered it her most embarrassing moment, but her spouse who's here had said even now, Ty Holt doesn't care what's in her way. She will get after every loose ball. We're tied at 24 after the free throws. Model City looking for the three. There's Ty Holt scrapping for the rebound. Look out. Attention Kmart shoppers, there's a cleanup on aisle 3. Abe is shaking his head, wondering, did he just throw in a Johnny Carson reference? Oh, he was expecting some fisticuffs. Okay, so I thought he was shaking his head at my Johnny Carson reference. And all of you younger fans are probably Googling him and a bunch of other old names. LaFleur for 3. That's off. And the dead ball rebound to Queens of the Court. No, Model City. Yeah, it is Model City. 5:01 left in the second. Turner around the screen, nowhere to go. Lobs it inside.
There you go again. Second and third opportunities for Model City, and it paid off there.
India Brown with the rebound and the putback. 26-24. LaFleur couldn't evade the hand check. Another pile up. Model City gets the timeout call, 26-24.
LaFleur kind of got caught in no man's land there.
Well, no woman's land would be the more apropos reference here.
Right.
Because the only men are the officials and the coaches. And us, I suppose. Model City, like Queens of the Court, a lot of small college graduates, or I should say D3, a few of their players attended Miles College. Diamond Buchanan went to St. Clair. But Anniston, Alabama. I've never been in Alabama, so it's interesting to see what they bring. And Alex, how about this for plot twists? The coach for Model City is their media coordinator. They have a men's team. They're playing tonight as well, so the men's coaches had to go there. So the media coordinator is serving as the interim coach. We had a chance to connect with her before the game.
Right. Well, sometimes you have to improvise, and so far, I dare say, I think she's doing a pretty solid job.
Hey, if Model City gets the win, do you think she would lobby or petition for a coaching assignment?
Well, up 26-24 here, 4:26 left before the half. I think she's done all right here, from what I can tell.
Now, Model City, if you're wondering about the name, it's in reference to the city moniker. Anniston named the Model City by Atlanta newspaperman Henry Grady for its careful planning in the late 19th century. Anniston situated on the slope of Blue Mountain, so it's not just a gimmick. There is some history behind the name. A point-blank look, but nothing there. Fleming with the rebound. This is Francois Luden. Wait. They got to get the shot clock reset. Yep, the officials caught it. The shot clock didn't reset properly. This happened a few times in the men's games that I've covered. And you know what? It's happened at the high school games too.
Oh, sure. So you have to stop play and hit the reset button. Here we go again.
LaFleur to Fleming. Took a peek. Hand check from behind. Model City performing that sneak attack. Kiki Turner
that's
scores.
What you call getting in a transition and taking advantage of your size.
Alex, I think for Model City, their flow is changing. They're not committing those errant, sloppy passes that we saw earlier on. That's a late foul.
There's going to be a foul there.
That's on India Brown. But for Model City, Alex, I know they're not making as many of those errant, unforced errors with their passing game, and that's leading to more fast break scoring chances. But we've got free throws here for Jada Francois Luden.
Well, we've seen here on the last two possessions here, by Queens of the Court, when they've tried to penetrate into the lane, they've had that ball slapped away from them.
A couple of hand checks from behind, and I always say, Alex, that is a tough part to be mindful of when you're a ball handler, because once you get in front of a defender, that means one thing: they're behind you.
Yep.
But unless you have eyes in the back of your head, and last time I checked, I don't think any of us do, you can't always anticipate that. Ty Holt snares the rebound after the empty trip to the free throw line. Queens of the Court 4 of 8. 5 on the shot clock. Ty stepped through, but she walked, and that's what I thought.
That's what it looked like to me. That's what it looked like to me too.
The call maybe a little late, but it looked like Ty took that step before the dribble, which I've often said is the bane of every ball handler out there. So Model City gets the ball back. There's Ty Holt. She's got a tie up with Patricia Peden.
Ty Holt doing what she does best, being a disruptor on the defensive end.
So Holt and Peden meet for the jump ball. Queens of the Court had the fast break look, but again, awareness. Francois Lubin snatches it back. Ty Holt's open. You know what she's going to do. Ty Holt with 12 points, 28-26.
Opportune defensive plays there by Queens of the Court. God, almost had that ball again, Ty Holt.
Ty is a one-woman wrecking crew. Entry pass, deflected. There's Ty again, going for the strip. She'll be called for the foul this time. And not too thrilled about it. But Ty,
is that her first or second?
I think that's her second. They're not keeping track of them on the board. Just the first foul this quarter for Queens of the Court. But Ty, as her spouse said, doesn't leave anything out there. Tucker uses up the dribble. And that's a shot clock violation.
Especially coming off an inbounds play like that, you got to be aware where your shot clock is.
Defensive stop for Queens of the Court. This is Francois Lubin, who's played in a couple of colleges. Going underneath, drawing the foul. That's CeCe Bell, the graduate of Two Rivers. Played it in Okaramsey. Bell with a chance to tie it. Under 2 minutes to go in the first. Bell with a couple of points in the first quarter.
Good response by Queens of the Court. Being down 4 and maybe in a tough spot, got this game leveled again.
I find it amusing that you say being down 4 is a tough spot, but given the tempo of this game, I feel it. But you know what? These two, as we have another spill, it will stay with Model City. These two are proving highly adaptable. Model City making some adjustments, cleaning up their passing game. Queens of the Court, that fierce, relentless character keeping them around. This is fun basketball. Ty Holt snatches another rebound with authority. Ooh.
Boy, might have gotten away with one there.
Possibly.
I don't think she's going to get away with that one. That's going to be number 3. Tried to do a little too much there.
Now, Ty Holt, she has plenty of strength in that athletic body of hers, but I agree with you. There's a time to use it, and then there's a time to rely on your finesse. She's got it, and she's having a word with her former Mayak rival, Ziling Zen.
Yeah.
St. Olaf, where Zen played college ball, located in Northfield. Good post-up defense. Ooh, Bell straddled the baseline.
I thought Bell was going to be able to get out of that mess, but ran out of real estate.
Holt will check out. LaFleur will check in. 1:10 to go. But, Alex, I'd say anything's possible. A tight game between a couple of teams who have some pedigree.
Boy,
Well, the inbound pass was offline, and that messed up the whole play. Now Zen with the extra pass. That's too strong. Well, no harm, no foul.
What an opportunity that was for Queens of the Court. Ziling Zen was leading that transition, made a great pass. Just couldn't finish on the layup.
That's why I say no harm, no foul. Model City had that errant inbound pass that forced them to go off balance. But basketball works like that sometimes. Here's Francois Lubin, who played in a couple of colleges. Originally from Flanagan, if my research is correct. Under a minute to go. Mike Peden and Alex Nagel. Entry pass knocked away by Bell. Zen comes up with it. Here's Fleming. Fleming still has yet to get on the board. But Queens of the Court, they've got time. Francois Lubin resets. Finds Fleming again. Hand off to Zen. The fake, the pull-up. Off the rim. Shot clock and game clock about 3 seconds apart. But Model City gets down court for the fast break layup. T.D. Ashley once again. 15 seconds and counting. Shot clock is off. Here's Bell. Barrels in. Tough angle. Model City with time if they can get down there. No, they get held up. And that brings us to halftime, 30-28, Alex. What a battle between two teams who are evenly matched.
You know, I think one thing about Model City, we saw them struggle early on with their half-court offense, but as the game progressed, they slowly started to figure some things out, how to get their bigs into position, made some plays with our half-court offense, and they've got a 2-point lead to show for it.
We'll find out what the second half will bring and who will get a win to get above 500 once again. You're watching Women's MBL Basketball on TSB Television.
It's more than just BBQ, it's family time. Ella's Smoke Till Ya Choke. Perfect for your Saturday.
Women's basketball has been around a long time, and we've had so many opportunities, and now we're just continuing to get more.
Susan Shudley makes a great move. Pass to Linda Shudley.
It comes back to just feeling like you're part of a sorority of women. It's really fun to see. There's a lot of pride.
90s, late 90s, we was pumping out great women's basketball players. And still to this day, we're still there.
Mike Peden and Alex Nagel with you. You're used to seeing us cover high school games. We've got the adults on the floor. Queens of the Court and Model City in the inaugural season of the Women's MBL. 30-28, Model City over Queens of the Court. At halftime, first half numbers, TD Ashley leading Model City with 12 points. No one else with more than 4. In fact, everyone else who scored is 4 points for Queens of the Court. Ty Holt, 12 points. Jada Francois Lubin, 9. None of the second quarter. Alex, we've seen a tale of two different styles. Queens of the Court got the early jump. Model City was able to channel that inside presence a little more in the second, but 2-point game. What do you think is going to win out here in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, a 2-point game. It's still a very close game. We saw Model City, again, get off to a relatively slow start, but as this game progressed, they started to figure some things out. They got some transition opportunities. They were able to utilize their size down low to get some good points. I still think Queens of the Court, if they can utilize their speed and their quickness, that's going to give them some opportunities. But the big worry point for me right now is we saw Ty Holt picking up her third foul right before the halftime break. So it's going to be interesting to see how Queens of the Court navigates that particular aspect.
One more home game is scheduled, and that will come at the end of July. So it will be a little while before we see this Queens of the Court team again. They do have another game scheduled with Model City. We're just doing the Saturday night contest. But I know for these players, Ty in particular, she relishes the chance to play. And for Brooke and everyone who grew up playing the game, maybe they didn't become the superstars like Rachel Banham, Cassie Rochelle, or Rebecca Dahlman, but
it's good to see him get an opportunity like this.
Well, and as I can attest to, covering the Broncos and Bulldogs throughout the fall and winter months, as we'll have free throws coming for India Brown, and likewise for this Model City group out of Anniston, Alabama.
Well, again, going right to their size right here, right off the bat here in this third period. Trying to build on this 2-point lead that they have.
Anniston, if you're curious, a city of about 20,000. India Brown got nothing out of those free throws, and if you're curious about the free throw tally, Model City 4 of 10, Queens of the Court 6 of 10. 3-ball, corner pocket, Ziling Zen gets on the board. The St. Olaf graduate. Model City floors it, and a 3-point play chance. Picking with the dime, Brown with the bucket. She'll try to atone for those missed free throws a moment ago. Anniston, one time, held the world's largest chair. Fort McClellan also located there. And the 3-point play by Brown makes it 33-31. Both teams 1-1. Hold, working off the screen set by LaFleur. Goes for the runner, comes up short. Has to be careful. Model City channeling their speed once again. The fadeaway drops in for TD Ashley. She has 14. Hold, look at that move. But she can't get it to go. Slow start in this third quarter for the product out of Humboldt. Long three is short, but everyone near the rim. That allowed Model City to get the long carom.
Second and third opportunities right now really paying off for them. Of course, they didn't cash in there, but if they keep getting more of those, could put Queens of the Court in a tough spot.
And remember, Model City only has a 7-player rotation. Brooke LaFleur can't bake in the three, but nobody on CeCe Bell, and CeCe puts it in. 35-33 is the score. Back to a 2-point game. Turner absorbs a bump from LaFleur. High, low, too strong. Rebound goes to Bell after it exchanged hands. Bell wanted to take it all the way. Turner stayed with her.
That was a wasted opportunity there. They had numbers.
And Model City turns it into another pair of fast break points. Picking with 6 and a 4-point lead again for Model City. LaFleur. Oh, went under the legs of Ty Holt, and that will be a turnover on Queens of the Court. It happens to the best of us.
More importantly here, Model City has an opportunity to grow on that 4-point lead that they have.
And I don't think we've seen either team lead by more than 4.
Whoa.
No foul called.
That was interesting.
LaFleur was all over Peden.
Well, good play by LaFleur there.
I'm a little surprised that a foul wasn't called, but I'm up here. Nieves airballs the 3. Model City going again in transition. But nothing doing on that possession. Zen, one-on-one. The pick set up by Buchanan. Brown pulls up. Peden gets the second chance bucket. Had the size advantage on LaFleur. Largest lead of the game for either side, 39-33.
Well, again, Model City using their size to their advantage. Second chance opportunities.
LaFleur into the lane, tough shot. Holt is there and gets the bounce. Holt with 14, and her Harding players, they've got chance for their coaches. Kiki Turner steps into the elbow J. (41-35). Here comes Bell. Spots a lane. Can't put it in. Could not shake off India Brown. And another example of the size advantage. But Model City took too long. 8-second violation. And Queens of the Court will get the ball back with 5:44 left in the third.
Well, so far here, as we get closer to the midway point of this third period, Queens of the Court have kind of hit a rough patch on the offensive side.
A trouble spot, I think, as Ty Holt launches the 3. Not there. Bell fouled. She'll shoot 2. I think a trouble spot, Alex. I'm looking at the production. Now, Model City only has 7 players, but T.D. Ashley getting support from Brown and Peden in particular. Queens of the Court, Francois Lubin hasn't scored since the first. CC Bell will try to score at the line. I'm thinking Queens of the Court, if they can get more players involved, that could free up spaces for them. It's a split for Bell. Rebound to Francois Lubin, but that wasn't close. Back to Bell. Holt crashes, fades away,
Wow.
Can't get the bounce. 41-36. Queens of the Court calling.
Queens of the Court trying desperately to cause some turnovers here, but in the process they've been getting a little too aggressive here, I think, Mike.
Well, they were asking about an 8-second call. And Gary Lowe having a chat with Newton Williams. Newton has been part of this MBL and women's MBL for a long time, owner of the Broncos. So it will be Model City ball. 5:05 left in the third. And this group from Anniston looking to accentuate their positives. The rebounding working in their favor, but the second chance comes up empty. Zen with the board. Francois Lubin. Extra pass to Nieves. Oh. Alex, how many of these point-blank looks have been misfired? That's a kick ball, but we're seeing a lot of missed buckets down low.
Well, that's, especially when those missed buckets include missed layups or missed bunnies, that's where it really hurts.
Those are the shots you really want to have. 3-point shooting, there's always an element of streakiness to it. Some are more consistent than others, but you'll have good days and bad. But when you get down low, those are the buckets, those are the plays you want to capitalize on. Zen looking to go outlet. Francois Lubin has a step, but another miss.
There's another one.
Ay, as Alpha 5 would say. And probably what Queens of the Court is saying right now. Reed going for the steal. 1-on-1 down low and a foul on Holt. Free throws coming for India Brown.
Is that on Ty Holt?
I believe it is.
That'd be number 4.
Now, they are playing with WMBA rules, so you do get the extra foul, but still not ideal, especially when you're in a funk and a 5-point deficit feels like 50. Here's Brown at the line. And Model City I have to imagine they won't be too pleased about their free throw clip so far. They've missed a lot of freebies at the charity stripe. Brown splits, so it's a 6-point lead. But Queens of the Court, it's been a while since they've last hit a field goal. Foul. Buchanan calling for the travel, but instead a foul on T.D. Ashley. Model City, go ahead.
Right now, I'm sure Queens of the Court will take any break they can get.
Well, Model City had 3 fouls to give. But Zen got underneath, just couldn't finish, and that seems to be the story right now for Queens of the Court. The rim sealed shut for whatever reason. Zen. Up and under. Still can't find it. And Model City just had a lapse. I don't know what else to say or how else to describe it. They had the rebound, and India Brown just lost her focus for a moment. So go ahead.
Hard luck for Zeeling Zen. Has had 2 layups here. Just can't quite get them to go down.
So Queens of the Court will get the ball back, 14 seconds. Or at least that is the initial ruling. The officials will have a chat. 42-36 the score. Originally, Queens of the Court was going to be known as the Lady Bulldogs, but they decided to come up with a more unique form of branding. It will be Queens of the Court ball with 3:36 left in the third. Shot clock, as you know, goes to 14 for turnovers in the front court. Francois Lubin, cross court. Ho for 3. In and out. And the field goal drought continues. Offensive rebound to Zen. Francois Lubin already in the backcourt, had to return and gets the friendly roll.
Well, it took some doing, but they were finally able to cash in on an opportunity there.
And an errant entry pass. Alex Brown had the advantage, had the matchup she wanted. But an overthrow gives the ball back. Zen buries the 3.
You know, you can always, that's one thing that you always have to appreciate about Zeeling. Has the ability to come up with big plays at the right time on either end of the floor.
So after a stretch that seemingly lasted forever, back-to-back buckets for Queens of the Court makes this a 1-point game with 2:47 left in the third.
Well, the cobwebs were arguably growing on their basket, but they found a couple of sparks here to get right back into this.
Zeeling, originally from Portland, Oregon, graduated last year. Didn't score a ton in St. Olaf, but she did make the spring Dean's List and Academic All-MIAC recipient. And like you said, maybe doesn't light up the stat sheet, but she can come up with big plays at critical moments.
One of the more underappreciated players in the MIAC over the years.
And in her senior year, a 31% three-point shooter. 42-41. So I was saying that Zen and Holt were rivals. I guess I have to correct myself because Ty, she played her college ball from 2013 through 2017. So never got to play against Zen. But I'm sure word travels fast when you have a bunch of players strung together, held together by this thing called basketball. That common trait, the commonality that binds us all together. Let's see how Model City responds because we have 2:47 left in the third, and remember, neither team is led by more than 6.
Well, they got into a little bit of a rut themselves here over the last few minutes. Now let's see if they can get out of it and get things going again.
Ashley, well, they'll go back to the high-low game, but Brown cut off. She had 2 lavender jerseys. Bell wants to go coast to coast and does.
Well, this one turned kind of quickly, didn't it?
Queens of the Court looking to press, at least for the moment. Another sloppy pass. We'll have a jump ball. Well, CeCe Bell's coast-to-coast run, arguably not quite as swift as Madden Greenway, but it got the job done. Then again, not too many folks are as fast as Madden Greenway.
No.
Madden Greenway, well, She'll probably play in the WMBA if I were to make a bet. Maybe she'll end up here someday, but I think she'll stop in the WMBA first after Kentucky.
I would think so. I would hope so.
Queens
Well,
of
here
the
we go.
court
You got
wins
numbers
the
again.
tip. Harris to Francois Lubin, the step through, the finish. A 9-0 run for Queens of the Court. And another turnover. As Turner tried to drive it, Harris can't hang on to it. I think we'll have another jump. Yes.
What a turnaround of this thing. I have to be honest, I did not see this coming.
That's the beauty and beast of sports. You can play horrendous, as Queens of the Court did to start the third. Find yourself on a surge and turn a deficit into a lead. Of course, game not over, but that is why I keep coming back 20 years later. 45-42. Jump ball at center court, won by Model City. And that's what Model City needed. Kiki Turner barrels in the lane.
Break their scoring drought.
Well, what happened with Model City, just a lot of errant throws, a lot of ill-advised passes, and that messed up their offensive fluidity. Driving kick, Fleming left alone, 3 off the heel. Rebound goes to Model City, and they have numbers 2-on-1. And they'll take the lead again. T.D. Ashley with 16.
And they push back out in front.
Ty Holt back in the game.
Oh.
Couldn't get the fancy razzle-dazzle play. Model City, Alex, I feel like it's been feast or famine with this transition game of theirs as we have 50 seconds left in the third. When they can get those passes on target, it flows smoothly.
Right.
But that's not always the case.
I think a lot of it is that they're trying to rush things a little too much, Mike.
And that's why we're at a 1-point game, and since the opening tip have been at a stalemate, here's Zen, another 3.
Well, I tell you what, Ceiling Zen is starting to feel it.
There's a foul, and that should put Model City in the bonus. This is Kiki Turner with 8 points. It's a split for Turner. Model City now 6 of 14 at the line. Francois Lubin finds a cutting Bell. That's a walk. I saw her shuffle her feet.
One extra
and
step.
Bell knew it. Right idea, but Bell, you could see it up here. Did the bunny hop, the stutter step, shuffled her feet a little too much. And now Model City with numbers again. They'll go to the line. T.D. Ashley with 16 points. The long-awaited home opener for Queens of the Court. And for a group like Model City, Again, they're an hour and a half from Atlanta, the closest WMBA city. So having an option for the locals certainly welcome. Ashley knocks down the free throws, and Model City leads 49-48. LaFleur, hounded for the moment. Shot clock is off. Holt up top. Blocked, covered well. Model City looking to go coast to coast, and another foul with 2.1 left. They'll go back to the line.
I think Queens of the Court was they were a little too rambunctious on that last possession that they had. I think they could have held it for a little bit longer, looked for a slightly higher percentage shot opportunity.
And I think Model City, they know what Ty Holt's tendencies and skills are. They're respecting her when you look at all the coverage she attracts. Ashley misses the first. It's a split for Ashley. And with 2.1 left, that's going to do it for the third.
Ooh. Well, considering the fact that Queens of the Court was down by 6 right around the midway point of this third period, and now they're back to within a single possession, they've got to feel a lot better about themselves than they did earlier.
50-48, one more quarter to go, and we'll see who goes back above 500. This is women's MBL basketball.
It's more than just BBQ, it's family time. Ella's Smoke Till Ya Choke. Perfect for your Saturday.
Twin City Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. But I just, like I said, I just upload the same copy to all my channels just to get to see if I can connect with the audience. All right. 50-48, one more quarter to go. Queens of the Court led by 3, 45-42 at one point. So once again, Alex, we have another one possession margin coming out of an intermission. I think, as cliche as it sounds, this fourth quarter will come down to execution.
Well, and we saw Queens of the Court get a huge spark from Zeeling Zed. And they're hoping, I'm sure, that they can find a spark from either her or somebody else. Let's not be surprised if Ty Holt starts strutting her swag here in this fourth period.
Holt with 14 points, held to just one field goal in the third. Francois Lubin with 13, Zeeling Zen with 9, Cece Bell also with 9. Model City, the story, the headline, TD Ashley, 19 points. We'll have to see if she has one more quarter of magic up her sleeve. Ooh, that was close. Zen with a fake. And then the shovel pass. Bell wasn't ready for it. Picks up the loose ball, 5 to shoot. Ty Holt cleans up the mess. I don't think that's how they drew it up, but they'll take it.
They'll take it for sure.
Holt with 16. We're tied at 50. Turner.
Wow, that was a
Tough
tough
fadeaway.
shot.
Nowhere to go, and Alex, usually analysts will discourage those ISO plays, especially that lead to fadeaways, but sometimes you just got to force it, or you have to make something happen. Ty Holt with the hesitation move and the finish. Through a double.
Talk about tough shots.
Through a double, mind you.
I mean, she was sandwiched.
She was sandwiched. Well, in that case, she was the cream filling between that sandwich. Because she sweetened up the Queens of the Court score and her own. We have a jump ball. As I watch any potential partnership with Nabisco or other cookie makers fade away into oblivion. Ty Holt wins the tip. Zen sprints ahead, can't get it to go, and that's been the story for Ziling Zen down low. 3-ball, short. Last touch by Model City. Zen along the wing, finds Holt, employs the ball fake, steps back. I see a tie.
Well, like I said, you know, she starts cooking here in this fourth period.
I don't know what her favorite dish is, but Zen called for the foul. I was going to say I don't know what her favorite dish is, but her spouse might want to consider making it after this performance. Nobody on Brown, but she can't get the layup. Oh,
He dodged the bullet there.
That is a play you want to have. Holt finds LaFleur, extra pass to Bell. That's a 4-point swing.
I tell you what, that's some awfully good passing there.
And that's a big 4-point swing, Alex.
That is. That is a huge 4-point swing.
56-52. And an unforced error.
Wow.
Brown stepped on the sideline. Her heel touched the line. That is a double whammy.
All of a sudden, Model City has run into a rough spot here.
56-52. Queens of the Court looking to turn the tide their way. Holt, not there. Bell gets out of the trees. 10 on the shot clock. Turner jumped the pass.
What an
See you later.
defensive play that was.
Well, that's one way for Model City to
He could turn. It came
reawaken
out of nowhere
themselves.
to steal that ball. Boy, she was on.
LaFleur short on the 3, rebound, finds its way to Holt. Tries to scoop it, draws the foul. And Ty Holt goes to the line. Ty Holt, I don't know how she is now, but throughout her college career became a markedly better free throw shooter. And when I told her what her senior year percentage was, she was still embarrassed about it. And she shot about 75%. She wanted to go higher.
Yeah.
That sounds like Ty, though. She doesn't get satisfied easily. She wants to aim higher all the time. And that goes to her siblings, the players she coaches, her daughter, and her fellow comrades at Harding. Holt missing the front end. Nothing.
There.
And this stalemate persists. Pull up 3. off the rim, and Brown goes back to the line. Alex.
It's just been a strange game because we've seen so many different weird swings of momentum, haven't we, in this one?
And I can't remember the last time, maybe Providence Maple Grove a few years ago, where the game was this close from the start. Neither team has led by more than 6. And they're both even, at least in free throw shooting, roughly.
Well, neither side has exactly set the world on fire from the charity stripe. But the deeper we get into this final quarter, the more important those free throws become.
Well, both teams at 50%, so no real advantage right now. Holt into a double team again. LaFleur helps bail her out, drives and finishes.
A little burst of speed is all she needed, and she got that one to go down.
And the former Johnson Governor scores her first field goal. 3 on the way. Clanks off the heel. Francois Lubin finds Holt. Ty sizing up. Tried to force it. A little frustrated. We'll have a jump ball, I think. Yes, we're setting up that way, but Ty getting some encouragement. I see a few of the Broncos players here. One of them helping coach, and another, Vinny Poish. No, that's Cologne, I should say. Stephen Cologne, who played with the Bulldogs and then the Broncos over the spring. We're going to get some subs for Queens of the Court. 6:05 to go. Alex, when you're in a tight game like this, how does that influence pressure when neither side is led by more than 6? You know, one little swing could change the whole complexion of the game. As we get a 3, that rattles out. Ball pinballs around. Back to Ho.
Well, I think to me the thing that stands out is that both sides have committed their share of errors tonight and missed shots like missed buddies, missed layups. Yet they've been able to survive those mistakes.
I suppose you can survive them when the other side is just as guilty as you are.
Yep, exactly. So it all kind of evens out.
They cancel each other out, as the saying goes. 6 to 1, half a dozen on the other. 5:38 left in the fourth, and whoever comes up on the losing end is going to look back on all of those missed opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely.
But hey, you got to win the ugly games.
Yeah.
Even the best. Providence Academy. They had their share of squeakers in their run of 5 straight state championships in Class 2A.
Well, and then we saw Concordia Moorhead, advancing all the way to the Elite 8
of the
in
D3
NCAA tournament. But they had some rough games. They had a rough first-round game with UW Superior, and they had to squeak by Ripon, both on their home floor up there in Moorhead that I covered. And again, it's about finding ways when it counts.
And at the D2 level, MSU Mankato flourished through most of the year, stumbled at the end, got knocked out in the first round of the D2 women's tournament to Duluth.
Yeah.
Who made it to the Elite 8.
I know.
Basketball's unpredictable like that.
Well,
we haven't met those since UCLA won their first ever NCAA Division I women's championship. I know that had to have made you a happy camper.
I was happy to see that.
Inbound pass intercepted. 2-on-1 for Queens of the Court, and Ho just missed it. There's a foul.
And she's just as surprised as we are. She had an open shot, and I think she was so open, it surprised her a little bit.
it is a little unusual. We've seen this sometimes. You get open and then you pull up. I don't think players are encouraged to pull up unless they see a defender, and I thought Ho had a driving lane to work with. But Abby, this is a game I think she'll want to put behind her. She just hasn't found that shooting touch compared to the likes of Holt, Bell, or Francois Lubin. But it's still a 3-point game, and nobody's won it or lost it yet. Rebound tips its way to Ashley, who pulls up. Can't get the Plinko bounce. And Brown goes back to the line.
Just some really odd swings of momentum tonight.
By the way, Alex, how about all those UCLA seniors getting drafted?
That's
from Betts all the way down to Neatkins.
It's kind of weird seeing them square off against each other now in the double.
UConn graduates, UConn alumni, they've had to do that for years.
I know.
And you're going to see more of that, I think, with South Carolina now in the coming years. Tessa Johnson, she would be draft eligible next year.
Yep.
Brown missing the front end. Splits again. And Model City still mired at 50%. 2-point game. LaFleur slings it to Holt. Goes for another tough shot again. And is called for the foul. And that means free throws the rest of the way for Model City.
And just as important, number 5 on Ty Holt. That was probably one that she committed and that she wished she probably hadn't.
And that aligns with your observations, Alex, with Ty Holt in this game. She's aggressive. She gets after it. But sometimes maybe commits yourself a little too much to the play when you have all those jerseys around you. Of course, it's easy for me to say all this when I'm up here. So Ty will have to check out. "20 points, but with 4:56 to go, we've got a photo finish brewing in the first ever home game for Queens of the Court. Brown makes both. We are tied. 58 all. Here's LaFleur, long three, off the rim. Karam bounces right into the hands of Ho. LaFleur can't get open. Side out for Queens of the Court. Brooke LaFleur talking with the refs. And then realizes the shot clock resets to 14 on an O board. Says, all right, we're good. 4 to shoot. Tough three. Almost went in.
Hard luck for her tonight.
The shot just hasn't been there for Fleming. Model City looking to regain the lead, and they will as Brown gets open again.
Smart pass, smart recognition down there. And they made it pay off.
60-58. LaFleur steps into the three. That didn't work out. Long two, swish. Abby Howe makes it 60 all. There's another foul and more free throws for Model City. This one on LaFleur. This is Kiki Turner with 13 points. Ashley has not scored in the fourth. And massive substitutions coming in for Queens of the Court. Cologne taking credit for that miss over there.
Well, again, neither team setting the world on fire from the charity stripe here tonight.
Turner splits. Model City 14 of 26. Three ball, not there for Zen. LaFleur gives it a try. Long. Rebound, Peden. Big opportunity awaits Model City here.
Oh, wow.
Holt, sneak attack from behind. Can she get control of it?
Look out.
Zen.
Ooh.
Good look, just didn't go. 2-on-1 for Model City. Ashley can't put it down. Under 3 to play. Holt trying to sling it. Side out for Queens of the Court. And once again, Alex, the trends taking place throughout this game creep up again. Model City had the 2-on-1 and they couldn't get the bunny to drop. I think there's going to be a lot of notes in film review. Holt for 3, looks short. LaFleur gets it, runner, long. LaFleur called for the foul.
I tell you what, you got to admire Brooke LaFleur getting in there and mixing it up down low with bigger players. She's not afraid of doing that at all.
Well, you can't be afraid if you want to play basketball.
That's true.
Whether you're Brooke LaFleur, Ronnie Porter,
Yep.
who just finished up her college career at Wisconsin. Alexis Pratt, and before she took up track, she was an impact player at Stillwater.
In any event, Peden here at the line, trying to build on that 1-point lead.
LaFleur checks out. It's been a busy spring for LaFleur, coaching Harding track and Central Flag football. Split at the line for Peden. 2-point game. Stop me if you've heard that before. Neither side leading by more than 6. Zen, fake, blocked by Brown.
Wow.
That'll be a ding-dong-dang.
Zen was able to retrieve that ball near the baseline and get the pass. Wow, what an alert play by her.
Then a foul on Davis Nellen, so more free throws coming. It goes back to that aggressiveness, Alex. Queens of the Court, maybe a little too feisty. It's a tough act when you're a team like Queens of the Court, Providence Academy. I keep going back to them, but they were the model example in Class 2A. Teams that want to push, that want to get in your face. And once again, free throw issues. Swirling, circling, enveloping Model City. When it matters most, it's a split for Taylor Tucker. But Model City, they've split the last 3 trips, so it's just a 1-point game. Will that be enough? Holt.
Boy, that was dangerous.
Almost lost the dribble. Time to see what you're made of. Oh my goodness! Francois Lubin got a friendly.
Got a generous bounce. Rolled in there. I didn't think it would. Wow, what a takeaway.
Numbers for Queens of the Court. Ty Holt, extra pass to Francois Lubin.
Just like that, a 3-point lead.
Well, that bucket before, usually you don't get a friendly assist from the heel.
I know.
I've seen friendly bounces, and then
it was just like a thud, but I was surprised that it went in.
And then on that last play, Model City, they were going for the drive, and I think CeCe Bell just ripped it out.
Just whipped it out.
It looked like Model City lost control at the last moment. So another wild swing, but 1:28 left. That's an eternity with WNBA rules.
Oh, yeah.
And how about Ty Holt, 20 points, dealing with a little bit of foul trouble, but still an impact player.
You know, with an experienced player like her who's been through so many of these battles, she can work around that. She can still do a lot.
Well, she got back in the game to an extent last year at Gus Smacker. Her team, which included Brooke LaFleur, and I forget the third, made it to the championship in their division, and they lost to a trio of former players who also were players on the Minnesota Vixen women's football team.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're going to lose to a group, I'd say that's a good one. Not that you ever want to lose, but
right.
You lose to a group of talented athletes like Vixen players, I think
right.
We'll let that pass. But a lot of fun to see some players that I once covered. And some new faces, too. Model City.
Well, let's see what Model City does here. Down 3.
Model City looking to put their game face back on. Only a 1-possession game still. So no one has won it yet. Loose ball.
And now it's not when you want to get sloppy with the ball.
Harris and Tucker, but Harris, I think, may have aggravated or exacerbated whatever laceration she suffered earlier. She has to check out and get patched up. She was wearing a bandage near her eye, so dealing with an ailment here.
She's trying to get that on right now. I don't know where.
Well, because we have a jump ball situation. We've got, oh, I see, we have blood. That's why we had to stop. That is the stoppage. All right. They have to clean that up. Well, that's obvious, of course. I don't need to tell you why. And look, Ty Holt, there she is again. She's doing everything. She's cleaning up the floor. She's cleaning up the boards. Her spouse said she's not afraid of anything. She will get after anything. Apparently, that includes cleaning up the court.
Yep.
So an extended timeout of sorts as Harris will use this moment. Okay, it looks like it's her nose again. It is a little drier today, dew point in the 40s. And we still have 1:17 to go. I don't know what else there is to say, Alex.
Well, I mean, if I'm Model City, the one thing I've got to be concerned about right now is taking care of the rock. You know, I mean, we've seen this issue rear its ugly head for them more than once in this game. And this was a very inopportune time for that to happen. So now they've got to make sure that they get the jump ball to go in their favor here.
They're checking with Harris to make sure she's okay, and she says, I'm good to go. Well, she certainly has a nose for the game. I'll show myself out again. Something's up with the sound system. Everything getting funky. So Harris and Tucker, after a lengthy delay, will finally jump for possession. 1:17 to go. Model City wins the tip. They're looking for the tie.
Oh, wow.
Yes!
I tell you what.
Kiki Turner nails the three.
She not only snared that tip, but then got the three. I mean, that's a gutsy play by Turner.
1:06 and counting, and Harris bloodied up again, so she will check out. And she says it's her nose. Well, Abe and I, we were on hand. I think it was a bloody nose. Maya Moore at Orno. Remember, she went for a loose ball, hit the padding at Orno, and had to check out with a bloody nose. Well, I remember that because that day we had a pretty significant snow event to trudge through, too. They got the game in. Basketball not for the faint of heart, folks. Final minute of play. A foul is called on Model City. Now, we're playing with WMBA rules, so if that's the case, that should be their one foul to give in the final 2 minutes. We'll see if that's the case. I understand they're playing with WMBA rules, so that should be it in terms of fouls to give, but we'll see. 56.9. Another foul, and that will stop the clock with 52.9. All right, so they're counting the fouls as they would in a high school or college game. So there is no.
And you've got 11 seconds left on the shot clock as well.
Well, it should reset to 14. I think in that situation, yes, it resets to 14.
Yeah, okay.
It's like at the high school level,
yeah.
It resets to 20 because they use the college rules. But one foul left to give for Model City. And Alex, I'm not sure. I don't know if they're intending to do this, but I'm not sure you want to use up your fouls to give. Well, now Queens of the Court is saying, shouldn't we be shooting free throws? And we have another stoppage to discuss things. Gary Lowe is signaling two. And yes, so Bell's going to go to the line. Because again, they're playing with WNBA rules. So Model City already used up their one foul to give in the final 2 minutes. Because again, the rules are they're the same as the NBA. And we might have another stoppage. Okay.
Had another bloody nose there. Jeez.
How many bloody noses can you get?
I don't know, but she had one.
I guess these two teams are putting all of their blood, sweat, and tears into this one.
Talk about leaving it all out there on the floor.
So Bell to shoot free throws. What else can happen in this final 52.9? Bell missing the front end. Gets the back end. 67-66. Teams out of fouls to give. Mid-range jumper. Off the rim.
Wow.
Bell corrals it. Backs off. Now the shot clock. Wait a minute. It didn't reset. Ty Holt goes for it. The shot clock didn't reset. And now tempers flaring. Well, the shot clock didn't reset. Ty Holt didn't recognize that. And now the players are getting a little chirpy.
Well, this is not what you want to see.
28.3. That's Davis Nellen, who's being led into the locker room. And the officials will have a chat. Well, I looked up at the clock. It did not reset.
Yeah, that's what was weird.
And then Ty Holt went for it, but she should have had more time. So the question now is, it's a matter of how do you address this? In the NBA, WMBA, you would have the monitor. Officials would be able to review it for time and scoring purposes.
And now, unfortunately, they're going to have to do the best they can in real time. I wonder if we're going to get free throws here, technical here on the other end. And if so, it's going to come at a very inopportune time for Queens of the Court. But that appears to be what's going to happen here. As we try
And
to get this.
the Queens of the Court coaches, I'm guessing they're pleading, and this is my issue, they did not reset the shot clock after the rebound. I don't know what the technical was about, but I feel like we're in a situation where this should not have happened to begin with.
Right.
I think Ty Holt fouled out as well, so a bizarre circumstance, a bizarre series of events, and we'll have to see how this plays out, but I feel something was amiss. I don't know how you feel about it, but the way I see it, something was amiss here.
It's just really bizarre.
The shot clock issue wasn't addressed. So now you got free throws. Buchanan misses the front end with 28.3. She blanks. Queens of the Court gets the rebound and the foul, and now we go the other way. Alex, you were saying all game long, neither team lighting the world on fire with their free throws. Those are two huge misses for Model City.
Well, and you have to wonder too, Mike, if you're Model City, how many windows of opportunity are going to be left for you. And now let's see.
Well, here's the situation. Regardless of what happens, there's still 25.8, so Model City will have a chance because even if Bell makes both, it's a one-possession game. In one of the most bizarre endings to a game I've seen in a long time. This is CeCe Bell with 14 points.
Got that one to go.
Needed the Plinko bounce. Let's see what she does on free throw number 2. Got her own rebound.
Wow.
Now the shot clock is still in play, so Queens of the Court can't hold it.
Wow.
Francois Lubin stumbled, and here was the problem, Alex. for Francois Lubin. She went back near half court. At least that's how I saw it. And then pinched herself off. She almost put herself into a trap.
Yeah.
So Model City has a chance to win it with 16.3. A 2 to tie, a 3 will give them the win. Shot clock is off. Here we go. A wild ending, to say the least. Oh, don't want to use up the dribble near half court. 6 seconds. Wild shot, doesn't go down. Pickett can't get the putback, and that's it.
Wow.
I would say inconceivable, but then Inigo Montoya would tell me, I don't think that word means what you think it means. In any event, Queens of the Court gets the win. How they pulled it off, I wish I could tell you.
And you know, again, if you go back and look at this, you can point to the missed free throws they had. You can point to the turnovers they had. They all played a role.
And I don't mean that to denigrate or to suggest that Queens of the Court didn't deserve the win, but I just did not have that ending scripted in mind.
No, I don't think anybody did. Certainly I didn't.
But an ugly win is still a win. 68-66, the final. Hey, if you're Queens of the Court, you'll take it.
Absolutely.
What an ending to this home opener for Queens of the Court in the first year of women's MBL action. We'll see if we can get a word with somebody, but if not, Queens of the Court goes to 2-1 in the most unpredictable way imaginable. Ty Holt, the high score with 20 points. Bell with 15. Francois Lubin, 17. This is women's MBL basketball.